Hello guys, I just want to come on here and give a weekly review and a outlook for this upcoming week. But first, to start with the review for this week, last week's price action. We had, before we even get into the charts, I'm interested on Thursday and Friday. Just wanted to see what the market does and how it responds to CPI on Thursday. So now we'll drop into the charts. We'll start with a top-down analysis. On last week's outlook, I brought your attention to this monthly internal range liquidity pool here. So that was our drawn liquidity before this candle had reached it. So here's this week's candle. We'll draw the open on that. So you can see how this weekly candle respected this monthly CE of that fair value gap, which indicates bullish prices. But I won't get into that now. We'll go into the daily chart. So we'll go, let's see, we're interested on Thursday. So Wednesday, before our trading day, we had this big bullish candle. So I'm marking out, previous day high and previous day low ahead of Thursday. So when we drop down into our hourly chart, you can see that range kind of delineated on an hourly basis. So Thursday, before we even get into our kill zone and look for entries, you can see on an hourly basis we don't really have much to target to the downside. So if anything, you could say, you could split this up into quadrants if you wanted, or look for CE, which ended up getting tagged. So I also see this internal range liquidity pool here. We'll make it red right at midnight. So that's my higher time frame analysis on an hourly chart before I, look for M15 entries on Thursday. So we had 8:30 news CPI. That's a pretty big event. I usually don't take any trades before 8:30 anyway, but especially on CPI days, you do not want to be in a position ahead of CPI. Despite this CPI not being too volatile, there's many times in the past where CPI will blow your pants off. So I'm looking for my entry model to form and fill inside this shaded area. As you can see, we didn't get any displacement until 11. And even then, if I draw the fib on this leg, I would have took, this entry maybe in premium. But it didn't fill inside my window. This formed, going into the lunch hour, and I don't want to be a part of that price action. So I let Thursday trade out. No trades for me on Thursday. However, on Friday I did get a trade. So same process, looking at midnight open, looking for any hourly PD arrays we're respecting or disrespecting going into our kill zone. I see this buy side here. I see this sell side here. I see this sell side and this sell side here. So I also see this internal range here as well. So these are all my PD arrays I'm really considering inside my kill zone for either places to look for entries or targets. So as you can see, we had 8:30. Well, I'll just show you. We had, where is it? 8:30 PPI and 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. So at 8:30 begins my hunt, and right here we tag that hourly internal, we shift structure to the downside, and make another model 2022 short. Here I took my entry at 9:30 when we bumped up into this premium fair value gap. Whenever there's two or more fair value gaps in the displacement leg, I draw a fib, and I'll take like a fair value gap that's at 50% or above 50%. So like if this was inside my window, since there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 fair value gaps in that leg, I'll draw the fib. I'll either take, the one at 50%, or I'll take the fair value gaps in complete premium. Probably this entry here, if this was inside my window. But this formed inside my window, so I had to take it because this is my edge. I went short here at 9:30, stop above this high. It looks something like this. And we had all these hourly swing points delineated in blue. So I went short here, and I was looking at this buy side inefficiency here below that H1 sell side I was aiming for 2.3R on that. However, we tagged that H1 sell side for 1.8R. So could have been greed on my part, I don't really know. But as soon as we took that hourly sell side for around 2R, I didn't take anything off, which was my mistake. I should have took something off there. I was driving, I couldn't really manage to trade well. However, I got stopped out at break even, which is fine. Just couldn't trade or manage to trade how I wanted to, but nonetheless I didn't take a hit. Going forward, I can make sure I take partials at low-hanging fruit on the hourly chart. Don't get fancy, targeting, inefficiencies below or above our higher time frame draws. For my higher time frame is the hourly chart. So just something I can work on moving forward. Break even week, that's fine with me. All my I manage myself well, which is a win in my book. But I just want to go make a weekly outlook for next week. So today's Monday, I'm making this video. We have our Monday daily candle about to print in 20 minutes. So I'm going to take you to the news for this week. No news Monday, Tuesday, and then we have news on Wednesday, Thursday. So before I get into the charts, I'm always looking at the news. That's going to tell me when I want to be in the marketplace. So Wednesday and Thursday are my trading days. Now, we traded into this monthly internal. I'm not going to go back out, but we traded in this monthly internal down here. And now we are having a change in the state of delivery on the daily chart, delineated by this bullish order block, CE of the wick tagged here. Now bodies are now respecting that, and we are shifting into a buy program on the daily chart. So I'm looking for this weekly buy side up here. We'll make that red. Go back to the weekly chart. That weekly buy side up there. However, if Tuesday or Wednesday we trade above this short-term high here and we reject, then we could potentially seek sell side. But I'm going to stick with my initial bias that we're going to trade through this buy side and up into this weekly buy side. So pretty easy outlook. I'm looking for higher prices, this low resistance liquidity. We have this short-term high, and this small little imbalance that we could eventually maybe target on Thursday, Friday. We'll see. But just a quick little forecast I wanted to give you guys. Wait for the news to drop and then look for your entries. Until then, good luck and good trading.